Okay, and before I start this video, yes, the actual video is crooked, the thumbnail is not. I am unprofessionally and unfortunately filming this video from the top. Well, it's on its side. My freaking trash barrel of all things, because the game in question is way too tall, and as you all know, I can't film videos on my laptop because technical constraints. I am out of space. I keep trying to free up space, but every time I do, I run out of space again because I have to archive like music and stuff, be it BGM or stuff that fire breathers will understand. And yeah, this is Loopz. These are not the only versions of Loopz. I do have the standard black one on standby, which mine might actually be a proto, if not an early version. Let me get it. I don't have its foot. I don't have its other foot. I don't even have the feet attached. But a typical Loopz game, standard, looks like this. It would have red feet. Pardon, it's very dusty. The reason I think it might be a proto, if not an early version, is on the front and on the back, every version, well, most versions, have red dot accents, like reddish orange, that contrast with the word Loopz. I'll flip it over again. You can already see those. Those are typically on both sides. Mine might be a factory error, and that's not something that I'm too surprised by anymore, because my Super Simon, that's a factory error as well. But moving on. I don't want to waste too much time talking about Super Simon. The reason I brought these two out is because these are the only other two that I have. I might as well go over the rarities, though. The standard black is the most common. Special white, I think it's slightly rare. Chrome is... the fan base doesn't know yet. I'd say it's probably rare or very rare. We don't know. I do know this clown, the SDCC, I think it was either 2009 or 2010, exclusive Loopz game, which is the only electronic game to ever have an SDCC exclusive variant, making it very special, has actually been officially confirmed by our community as ultra rare. A lot of people in the community have told me this. And you want to know another reason why it's so valuable? Well, my foot is killing me. If you look right here, I've shown this in the corner before. Hopefully it picks up. Loopz 12-ball edition, 234 out of 500. Yes, there were only 500 in existence. This one is also notable for having blue LEDs, lights inside the loops. Typical Loopz fare is, I believe, red, blue, I think, unless I have it in the reverse order, but it's always red and blue on normal variants, including specials, except for this one. And before people ask, yes, the feet are required to have the game stand up properly. The manual even says this, if I remember correctly. What should I bring up next? There's a lot to talk about with Loopz. There's quite a bit to talk about with Loopz. It was popular for the time. It's basically what happens when you take the concept of Simon and you put your hand through the loops to register inputs. That's actually what these are. It won't show up on the other one, the standard black, because it's black plastic. But these are sensors. I think there's one on the top and bottom of each loop. Yes, there is. It's basically Simon, but if you put your hands through loops to register commands instead. It's also musical themed. There's a lot of electronic games that are musical themed. New Jam Guitar, which I happily have, which has a reputation for being really rushed, and that's Hasbro's fault, not Dan Klitzner's fault. If you've watched my interview with Dan, you would know this. Groove It, which came 1 year after and actually directly influenced Simon Ayres' development. What's that game that came after? Oh, duh. Bop-It Beats, which I did an entire video on that thing's development, and Klitzner himself actually commented for reference material. And that game was planned originally for either the early or mid-2000s. It's still debatable, but it was planned sometime in the 2000s. It was also very, very expensive for even Hasbro standards, which is that's the one thing I will not get mad at Hasbro for. They were not arguing with Dan. Dan and Hasbro were working together. They were having a lot of licensing and legal issues with trying to get like the licensing information. That's why if you look at the bottom of the box on a brand new Bop-It Beats, you'll see the licensing and copyright information for Pound the Alarm by Nicki Minaj, Levels by Avicii, and those other two songs. I think the other one we don't know. We actually can't find it on either iTunes or YouTube. It's nowhere to be found. It's debatable whether that was made for just that game. We don't know. One of my best friends, actually, Kane Kaiser, I believe he reached out to the artist to ask him directly. Supposedly he's very, very, very busy and he hasn't responded yet, but if he's like, you know, a musical artist, it's believable and it's understandable. But let's go back to Loopz. I'm getting a little sidetracked. Two of my favorites aesthetically are Loopz Chrome Edition. You can already see it's very reflective. I'm not sure if my hand is kind of showing up in the reflection. This is a special edition, not the first. That'd be the white edition. Very, very reflective, very, very shiny, really awesome to look at. I don't think it's actually a slight correction on my part. Because we don't know its rarity, it might not be that rare anymore to begin with. This clown, though, still very hard to find. I think there's only one left on Amazon, and it's going to cost you a lot of money. Just like mine did. And mine cost above $90. It was 90 and something for tax. I forget what it was. But this is very, very metallic. Not as metallic as this clown, again, but it's got its own metallic finish. Let me show it in light for reference material. It's less noticeable. It's kind of more solid, I guess. Oh, sorry, Chrome. It is, again, the only electronic game in existence to have a SDCC exclusive release. Also, that's the speaker grill integrated into the word Loopz. It's not present on the other side. I keep forgetting to mention that. The game operates on 4 AA batteries. That's what that is, that panel right there. The feet are, again, mandatory and required to have the game stand up regularly. That is for returning to the main menu. Holding it down will increase or decrease the volume depending on what the current volume level is. I think that's all that does. That's power. And if you do both of those at the exact same time for, I believe, approximately 5 seconds, you hear the test mode. You hear the revision number, and you have access to the test mode, which I would get to. I might actually get to it. It's not that complicated as, say, oh god, Loopz Shifter. That's the thing. I don't like Loopz Shifter. I'm not going to cover that thing. That thing is very, very bad. I don't like it. But actually, I might not be able to do the test mode in general because, you know, the perspective. I can try Chrome or Cobalt. What should I start with? Chrome, because it's the typical layout for the color scheme. Oh, frick. Nope. Nope. You gotta be precise with the buttons. 1. That's its revision number. As you can see, top left is red, top right is blue, bottom right is red, bottom left is blue. I'm just cycling through the music tracks. Oh, I just triggered one of the sensors. Yeah, you can test the loops. Once you test the loops, they don't stay on. They will stay on as long as you hold your hand in the sensor. That is all. That's pretty much the whole test mode. This one is completely identical. There's nothing different aside from the effects on the lights, and I will show those off. Because not a lot of people have seen Cobalt Edition Loopz.
1.
Same revision number. I believe it's also higher pitched. Compared to this thing, at least. That one's either normal or low or slightly low. Yes, it's the exact same thing. The lights do kind of show through the plastic, but it's literally the exact same test mode. Nothing different. Even the revision number is the same. But I'm going to start with Chrome. Going to put Loopz, Cobalt Loopz aside on my bed and lay it down. But again, it's pretty self-explanatory. If you know what Simon is, then this should be pretty familiar to you. So think Simon, but again with like motion sensor technology. This is years after Groove It, by the way, which Groove It uses light sensitive technology. One more thing before I actually move on to the game. I have got to shut up for the most part. Dan Plitzner, inventor of Bop-It, was aware of Loop's existence, but when he created... where are you? Where are you? Hold on. Please hold. When he invented this thing, which I did a demo video on, Simon Air, it was not directly ripping off Loopz in any way, shape, or form. It was just a coincidence. It's actually directly influenced by Groove It, which the first proto was just Groove It, but with Simon colors on the sides and on the top and bottom. I wish I had images. If you want to see the images, you can look at my interview with Dan. That's the best I can do. As far as reference material goes, I am sorry. That's the best I can do. But on to Loopz. I'm going to try my best to go through every single game mode. Oh God, why? I mean, I kind of have to. It's a requirement to understand how Loopz operates. Hold on. Yeah. Yeah, Loopz is pretty fun. Loopz, I love that. Turn up the volume. You want on 5. If you want as audible as possible, you want on 5. I believe the first game is literally just like hands-free Simon. Again, years before Simon Air.
Repeat the beat.
Yes, it is. Repeat the beat.
Repeat the beat. Level 1. Ready, go.
Also, the sounds are always randomized. God, doing this like this far away is a nightmare. I don't know why mine doesn't respond that much. Let's see. Yeah, it's just like Simon. I think it's the first speed up. Yeah, there we go. You also get combinations as well. Oh, second speed. Oh, third speed. Okay. Yeah.
Nice moves.
That's level 1.
Level 2.
Here come combinations,
Ready,
I think.
go.
Yep, first instance of a combination.
Keep
Wait,
trying.
what? Why are you not responding?
Don't give up.
Yeah. Yeah, if you fail, it's just gonna keep going for a while. Until you, like, lose all your lives. Doing from this perspective is, again, a little nightmare. Yeah.
Game over. You scored gold level 1. Select your game.
Also, them saying gold, that's literally their way of saying silver. It goes silver, gold, and platinum. That's basically their way of trying to make you feel good. Platinum is the highest. I almost forgot about ranks, and frick me for not remembering that.
Rhythm and flow.
What is rhythm and flow? Let me try that again. I haven't played Loopz in like a long time. Oh, man.
Rhythm and flow.
Oh,
Level
I know what this
1.
is, I think.
Ready, go.
Yep, you go with the flow of the music. It's actually pretty interesting. Pretty fun, actually. I haven't played this in a while. It's pretty fun. You have to follow the way the like how the flow of the music goes. It's pretty entertaining. Hopefully this is actually showing up in real time and syncing to the music. I don't know if it is. It's supposed to. You're supposed to in real time, and I missed. Frick. Yeah. Yeah.
You rock. Level 2. Volume 1. Go. Select your game.
Oh, that was volume. My bad.
Volume 2. Volume 3. Volume 4. Volume 5.
I forgot holding down doesn't return you to the menu, but just pressing returns to the menu.
Repeat the beat. Rhythm and flow. Versus mode.
Versus mode, that's multiplayer. I have no one to play with. Because, you know, forever alone.
Reflex Master.
Reflex Master is kind of intense. You don't have a set amount of lives in this mode, I believe. You just have, like, it times you. It times you on how many hits you can get. I'm gonna try this. Playing it this perspective is kind of frustrating.
Reflex Master. Select players.
Oh, right. You can select the amount of players.
1 player. Level 1.
Let's try this.
Ready, go.
I wish I wasn't really like on my knees playing this. It's so hard. It's annoying. It's getting faster. This is also in real time. Well, hopefully it should be. I don't know if the video is in sync, but this game gets pretty fast.
Nice moves. 48 hits.
Yep, it calculates the amount of hits you get.
Select your game.
I don't want to keep doing that because combinations are even more frustrating because it gets really fast. If that showed up in sync with the audio and the video itself, yes, that was in real time. It gets really frustrating.
Repeat the beat.
Oh wait.
Music Studio.
Oh right, that's the freestyle, I think.
Freestyle DJ.
Oh no, wait. Oh wait, there's two modes you mess around with. I'm not going to do those. Those are just there to exist, I guess.
Musicology.
Oh no, wait, I forgot about. Wait, is there anything before that?
Versus mode. Reflex Master. Musicology.
Oh. Just bump the camera, which is again literally my iPad. Musicology. I almost forgot about that thing's existence. Try that again.
Musicology. Level 1. Ready? Follow this.
Oh, this is definitely like Simon. Forgot that existed.
Check this.
It gives you a preset pattern every time. You don't have to do that. It's just pretty much celebrating your victory. You're actually building a track. You're building a track of music. Oh, full board.
Sweet.
I don't think I've ever seen that on Loopz. But yeah, as you can hear, you're building a music track. That's actually pretty cool.
Follow this.
Alright.
Smooth. Check this.
Yeah, like there's more instruments. That's actually pretty cool. I always love that.
Follow this. Nice.
There we go.
Check
I
this.
believe that also does combinations. That's one of the tracks you hear in the test mode, as well as the actual game itself.
Follow this.
Crap.
Keep trying.
Doing it from this perspective is not helping.
You did it.
Yes.
Check this.
That's the full track. The track is random every time as well, if I remember correctly.
Select your game.
I think that's it for Loopz, actually. I'll do the SDCC one, just to showcase the difference aesthetically, but there's not much else different from that. Power. Also, each loop, no matter which version of Loopz you're playing, has 3 lights. You can definitely tell by the turn on and shut off animations. Which actually, hopefully this shows up properly. Let me show that off in the dark. This is going to look kind of strange for a minute, but it does look pretty cool in hindsight. Turn the light off. It looks a lot better on the Cobalt one too, by the way. Let's see if I can capture this.
Loopz. Select your game.
Yeah, that looks really cool in the dark. Anyway, turning the lights back on. Sorry. Let me turn the volume up. Crap.
Volume 4.
Volume
5.
There we go, full volume. I'm gonna do just a little of each mode on this one because you've literally just seen the entirety of Loopz. With the Chrome one, people probably want to see this one in gameplay, I'd imagine. I think Sterling himself wanted to see this one specifically. I decided to do both this one and Chrome just to showcase both of the aesthetic differences.
Repeat the beat.
Bring it a little bit closer.
Repeat the beat. Level 1. Ready, go.
What's actually cool about Repeat the Beat or loops in general is that it's always a random sound. It's always random sound design. It's not like Simon where the sound design is always preset. It's actually pretty cool that way. Do it with one hand because I'm looking at Twitter notifications. Very unprofessional of me, because why not, I guess. Ah.
Keep trying.
Crap. Crap.
Don't give up.
You're too fast.
You can do better than that. You scored silver level 3.
Yeah, like I said, silver is the
Select your
lowest. In other words, I did absolutely terrible.
game. Rhythm and flow.
And flow. Let me move the trash basket closer. I'm really using a trash can to film this. Yes, I am, because I have no other choice.
Versus mode.
Oh, that's the loop.
Rhythm and flow. Rhythm and flow. Level 1. Ready, go.
Again, hopefully this is showing up in real time on the video. I don't know. People would argue it's a lot. Oh my god, stop it! It's a lot hard. Oh my god, game, stop it!
You can do better than that. You scored silver level 2.
That was
Select
not
your
my
game.
fault. Oh my god, the game. The game can be pretty unresponsive, although the perspective that I'm doing this at is not helping either. But what I was trying to say is that people would argue it's a lot difficult to play if you have the SDCC version because all the loops are one color.
Versus mode.
Versus mode, forever alone, so I can't do that.
Reflex master.
Reflex Master, I'll do just a little bit, but again, it's frustrating as frick.
Reflex master. Select 1. Player. Level 1. Ready, go.
Trying to move it closer, that's why I'm doing that. Stop it!
Nice.
I am not doing the rest of that.
41 hits.
I am not doing the rest of
Select your
that.
game.
Oh my god, no. I will happily do that off camera, but I can't do it in real time on camera. It's really annoying at this perspective, especially.
Repeat the beat.
Wait, you going back to repeat the beat?
Rhythm and flow. Versus mode. Reflex master. Musicology.
Ecology, I'll do that one again. Really don't want to, but in a way I kind of have to because I have to showcase the full thing on both units. So here we go.
Musicology. Level 1. Ready? Follow this. Nice. Check this. Follow this.
That was full
Check
full
this.
circle in a way. 'Cause it went 1, 2, 3, 4. That was interesting, actually. I didn't see that pattern a lot. I don't see it a lot. Okay.
Smooth. Check this. Follow this.
Okay. That's interesting. You repeated that 3 times. Yeah.
Nice.
There we go.
Check this.
I'll complete the track, but I'm not going to do anything else in Newcology other than that.
Follow this.
Okay. Interesting layout.
Keep
Oh,
trying.
crap. Forgot about it.
You did it.
There we go.
Check this. Select your game. Repeat the beat. Rhythm and flow. Versus mode. Reflex master. Musicology. Freestyle DJ.
Yeah, the other 2 modes are just literally freestyle modes. So I'm not going to do those. There's literally no reason to, other than just like mess around with the game. So I should actually close this video with the whole astroturfing thing about this game. If you don't know what astroturfing is, it's when someone pays a lot of money to make something look as popular as possible. This is kind of interesting because it happened with Loopz. Even during its inception, that thing was everywhere. And I can prove that it was insanely popular for its time. Oh, sorry, whatever that was. Because apparently the fan base doesn't like this one, but I do. Although it kind of defeats the purpose entirely of, hands-free gameplay. But in 2010, we got Loopz M3, which, oh god, camera. Which mine is the Special Target Edition. I had to specify that because you think the red variant would be the Target exclusive. No, it's the green one. And it's interesting, I guess. It's fine. Let me show it off real quick. I'm not gonna play it, but I'm just gonna show what it looks like. We're going to have to ignore the fact that it looks just like a fist tough thing, apparently. God, it's weird. Audio is a bit compressed, especially compared to something like this, those Loopz games. And then there's, apparently the fan base likes this one, but I obviously, for those who know me, I absolutely despise it. I was expecting a lot better from Timo Rarity. Where are you? Oh, hi, episode 1. Crap. Yes, in 2012, we got Loopz Shifter. Oh, there goes my light. Loopz Shifter, the one that everyone else seems to love, but I absolutely despise. And if you don't know me, which everyone obviously does know me, the reason I hate it is pretty obvious.
Loopz Shifter. Double step. Select your game.
Yeah, it sounds like badly processed dubstep. The menu music, it's absolutely obnoxious. I tell people this all the time, for those who don't know, but the menu music alone was enough to keep me away from playing the actual game. And that's not the only thing that kept me away from playing the actual game. Listen to this. Oh, it's not as loud as it used to be. But, moving the joints around, because with Shifter, the gimmick was you could actually position it in any way you wanted to out of the few preset positions. It starts in double stack. Ironically enough, that is the special edition as well, which is the opposite way, because with the original Loopz, the black one was standard, and the white was special. This is the special edition of Loopz Shifter, which actually, it's not hard to find that nowadays, so I feel like I kind of wasted my money because, oh, there goes my light again. I absolutely hate the game. A lot. It's not good. It is probably my least favorite electronic game I've ever played. And yes, Silly Sausage is a great competitor, is a competitor with that game. And And I will have to get to that at some point for those who haven't seen it. Well, pretty much almost everyone has seen that video. Those 2 videos, rather. And that game has interesting problems. And you can figure that out in your own time. And then there's the other game I hate, Bratz Bop It, which is wrong. But, yeah. Back to the standard loops. Here's a final overview of the game. Both game units. For me, it's hard to pick. These are both specials. This one's the only SDCC exclusive Electron game, period, at least at present. But that one's really reflective, so it's very hard to pick. I mean, as a treasure hunter, I love this one a little bit more, but I love that one aesthetically. If you're wondering about Loopz, it's OOP, which stands for out of print, and I have to state this: out of print can apply to anything that's not made anymore. It doesn't have to be just print media. For example, a good example of something that's out of print is a cartridge. Is the 3DS cartridge Cave Story. Cave Story 3D, my bad. That was the first physical version of the game. It was also a launch title for the 3DS. I happily own it. It's not easy to find. And that game, not the original Cave Story, but Cave Story 3D, its history is complicated. Like, oh, you get the game on its own. It's not that valuable, but it's still out of print. You get the complete version. It's still out of print, but not as valuable. You get the holographic sleeve on, like, the holographic promotional version of the game, which is the holographic. There's like a holographic sleeve on the case itself. Apparently, that alone makes the game valuable. But I'm not going to go into, like, how much of a convoluted mess that is. It is, oh god, it's a pile of suck. But Loopz, it's, again, not available in stores. This was 2010, after all. This one, again, I got it off of Amazon. That one was eBay. You can find standard black on eBay. I don't see the special white that often, though. I see a lot of them loose, but if you want a brand new one, you might be out of luck. And for some odd reason, they can kind of be like a little bit pricey, the special white edition. I don't know why. Better than this thing, which again costs over $90. But yeah, thought I'd make this video. This was specifically made for Sterling Andrews, because he wanted to know what Loopz was all about. And to tell him this, if he's watching this video, dude, I definitely recommend Loopz, especially in the modern day and age. It's very, very fun, very entertaining. And, yeah. Thank you all so much for watching. This is Earthworm Joe 94, signing out.